Wow,
Yeah.
what a game.
I know.
That was fun.
Stressful.
It was indeed. So it was very tight. After the first quarter, the next two quarters were played completely even in terms of score output from either side. What were you telling your girls and your athletes to keep them in the game and keep them motivated, because the defensive effort was intense on either side? What were you trying to relay to them?
Well, honestly, we've relied a lot on our defensive efforts this season. The girls have just been able to, get a lot of steals, which generates a lot of their offense, honestly. And I was trying to tell them to, play with composure, to try to remember to take care of the ball in situations like this. We've been trying really hard to attack the rim. So just focusing on taking higher percentage shots and really getting the ball inside and draw fouls, which we were able to get Guilford into foul trouble, which I think was a big factor in the game.
Yeah, and I like jumping inside the mind of a head coach.
Yeah.
Let's walk through the last stretch of that game.
Yeah.
Started to get a little bit physical and intense, but
Definitely.
when it's a close game, that's going to start to happen.
Yep.
What were you talking to your players about to try to keep them calm and composed, I'm sure?
Yeah.
What were your final conversations like down the stretch of that game?
Yeah, so we were talking about anticipating the press. We thought they might go back to it. So I was just trying to tell them to expect the press, to not get anxious. That's kind of been something that we've struggled with during the season, is we sometimes get a little frazzled and then force turnovers. So I was trying to tell them to maintain composure, to go to the ball, to want it, to really take care of it, and so that we can kind of effectively use the possessions that we had going down the stretch.
Yeah, there was definitely a feeling out process, but it appeared you guys started to really understand how to
Yeah.
attack their 2-3 and their press. Was that something you guys have been seeing a lot this season, and it's kind of come together now? Or what was your message offensively to your group as they moved the ball great pretty much the majority of that game?
Yeah, so a lot of teams do use a 2-3 zone. So we have focused pretty much all season on how to beat that, because we actually struggled with it pretty hard in the preseason. So I think throughout the course of the season, they know how to break it now. They're patient on their reversals, patient on the cuts into the high post, and they have finally kind of figured out the chemistry piece of it and kind of anticipating who can score where and where everyone can be effective.
Well, you guys were very impressive moving the
Thank
ball
you.
today, that's for sure. And I'll leave you with this, Coach. This is a big heel point victory
Yeah.
for you guys. Moving down the latter half of this season, how do you think, and I asked Jessica about this as well, how do you think that this game can kind of help not only propel you in the standings, but momentum-wise with your group of athletes after getting a quality win like this?
Yeah, I think we've struggled with confidence, so I think this is a huge confidence boost to them in terms of recognizing that they can play with, some of the teams that are kind of in the middle of the pack. We've had a lot of really close games against teams who are probably worth more hill points-wise, so I think that moving forward, this was something that we really needed, and it's going to give us a lot of motivation to finish out the season strong.
Well, you got the job done in an impressive way. We want